Welcome to my channel, HD Rare Coin 111. In this video I tell you about the United States of America Jefferson nickel 5 cent, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. The 1964 Jefferson nickel, a coin that holds a unique place in the annals of American numismatics, is much more than just a simple piece of currency. To the untrained eye, it may appear as just another 5-cent coin, circulating quietly in the pockets of everyday Americans. But to collectors, numismatists, and those with a keen eye for history, the 1964 Jefferson nickel is a highly coveted treasure, rich with historical significance, intricate design, and an impressive value that has grown over the years. This coin, minted during a pivotal time in American history, carries with it a story that transcends its basic function. To understand the full appeal and importance of the 1964 Jefferson nickel, we first need to explore the context in which it was minted. The Jefferson nickel was introduced in 1938, replacing the Indian head, buffalo, nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. The new coin was designed by Felix Schlag, an artist who had won a national competition to create the new design. The Jefferson nickel was intended to honor one of the United States' most significant presidents, Thomas Jefferson, who served from 1801 to 1809 and was the author of the Declaration of Independence. The coin would feature Jefferson's portrait on the obverse, and his famous Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse, symbolizing his lasting influence on American history. By the time the 1964 Jefferson nickel was minted, the coin had already been in circulation for over 25 years. However, the 1964 issue carries additional significance, as it was struck during a time of great change in the United States. The early 1960s marked a period of political, cultural, and technological upheaval. The civil rights movement was in full swing, and the country was beginning to grapple with social and political changes that would continue to shape its future. The 1964 nickel, with its design rooted in the nation's early history, serves as a fascinating reflection of this transitional moment in American society. On the obverse of the 1964 Jefferson nickel, we see the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, facing to the left. His face is etched in remarkable detail, with a calm yet resolute expression, evoking the gravitas of a man who helped shape the country's foundations. The inscription, Liberty, arches above Jefferson's head, while the words, "In God We Trust," appear to the left, underscoring the nation's dedication to religious freedom and its spiritual roots. The date, 1964, is prominently displayed to the right of the portrait, providing a marker of the coin's historical context. The simplicity and elegance of this design have made it one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. On the reverse of the coin, we find an image of Jefferson's iconic home, Monticello, which he designed himself. The image of Monticello has become an enduring symbol of Jefferson's legacy and his vision of an agrarian republic. The word Monticello is inscribed above the structure, while the coin's denomination, 5 cents, appears at the bottom. The reverse is simple yet powerful, showcasing a vision of Jefferson's life and values, a symbol of the United States' rural, agricultural roots. As with many coins, the 1964 Jefferson nickel went through a rigorous minting process. In 1964, the U.S. Mint produced this coin in large quantities at its Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco facilities. The Philadelphia Mint's coins are marked with no mint mark, while those minted in Denver bear the D mint mark, and those struck in San Francisco are marked with an S. The mint marks provide important clues for collectors and enthusiasts, as the location of minting can sometimes affect the rarity and value of the coin. While the 1964 Jefferson nickel was minted in high numbers, a key factor in its current appeal lies in its condition. Coins are graded using a standardized system that ranges from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless coin. The 1964 Jefferson nickel, like most coins, was widely circulated, meaning that many examples show signs of wear, scratches, scuff marks, and fading of details over time. As a result, coins in higher grades, those with little to no wear and sharp details, are much rarer and more valuable. Coins in mint state, MS condition, specifically those graded MS 65 or higher, are highly sought after, as they represent well-preserved examples of the coin in near-perfect or perfect condition. In particular, the highest graded examples of the 1964 Jefferson nickel have garnered significant interest in the numismatic community. Coins graded MS 67 or higher are particularly prized, as they represent some of the finest specimens ever struck. When one of these coins comes to market, it can fetch impressive prices, especially if the coin is free from any visible imperfections and displays full original luster. The value of the 1964 Jefferson nickel is also influenced by its rarity. While millions of these coins were minted, a smaller number of high-quality specimens have survived in excellent condition. The rarity of such coins contributes to their appeal, as collectors often seek to add these prized pieces to their collections. Additionally, certain mint marks, such as those from the San Francisco Mint, are considered more desirable, as they were produced in smaller quantities than coins from the Philadelphia and Denver mints. This can make the 1964's Jefferson nickel, for example, particularly valuable in certain grades. Another key factor that influences the value of the 1964 Jefferson nickel is the potential for minting errors. As with any coin, errors that occur during the minting process can result in unique variations that make certain coins highly valuable. Minting errors on the 1964 Jefferson nickel can range from minor flaws, such as double strikes or off-center strikes, to more dramatic errors, such as missing features or die breaks. These errors make the coin one of a kind, and as a result, coins with minting errors can often command prices far above their face value. One of the most sought-after types of errors on the 1964 Jefferson nickel is the double die error. This occurs when a coin is struck twice, resulting in a duplication of the design. In the case of the 1964 Jefferson nickel, a double die error might cause the inscription or other features of the design to appear doubled or distorted. These errors are extremely rare and are considered highly valuable to collectors. Another significant error is the clash die error, which occurs when two dies strike each other without a planchet, coin blank, in between, resulting in a ghostly image of the other die appearing on the coin. When it comes to the value of the 1964 Jefferson nickel, minting errors can have a profound effect. A high-grade example of this coin with a notable error could easily sell for several times its usual value. For collectors who specialize in error coins, the 1964 Jefferson nickel provides an exciting opportunity to acquire a rare and unique piece of American history. In addition to these factors, the 1964 Jefferson nickel holds particular appeal for collectors because of its connection to a defining period in American history. The coin was minted during the administration of President Lyndon B. Johnson, a time of significant social and political change. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was signed into law just months before the coin's release, marking a pivotal moment in the fight for racial equality. The 1964 Jefferson nickel, therefore, serves as a subtle reminder of the cultural shifts and struggles that were taking place during that period. Now, let's get to the big reveal. The value of the 1964 Jefferson nickel depends largely on its condition, mint mark, and any potential minting errors. While most 1964 Jefferson nickels are worth little more than their face value, high-grade examples can command impressive prices. Coins that are graded MS-65 or higher can be worth hundreds of dollars, and those graded MS-67 or higher are considered even more valuable. In rare cases, particularly well-preserved examples or coins with significant minting errors have been known to sell for astonishing prices. Some high-grade 1964 Jefferson nickels have been sold for as much as $89,999 at auctions, making them some of the most valuable coins from the late 20th century. In conclusion, the 1964 Jefferson nickel is a coin that combines historical significance, stunning design, and remarkable collectability. While it may have been initially minted for everyday use, it has since become a highly prized piece of American numismatics. Whether in high grade, with a mint error, or simply as part of a larger collection, the 1964 Jefferson nickel holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and enthusiasts. If you happen to come across one of these rare and valuable coins, take a moment to appreciate the history it represents, and perhaps consider the possibility that you may be holding a treasure worth far more than 5 cents. Top 2. The 1974 Jefferson nickel, though seemingly just a small, 5-cent coin, carries with it a rich tapestry of American history and numismatic value. At first glance, it might appear to be just another common coin circulating in pockets, but for collectors and numismatists, it holds a deeper significance. The 1974 Jefferson nickel, minted in large quantities, stands as a piece of a larger story, a story of transition in the United States, a reflection of the country's ongoing evolution, and a symbol of how even the smallest pieces of currency can hold considerable value and meaning. To understand the appeal of the 1974 Jefferson nickel, we must first take a step back in time and explore the broader context in which this coin was produced. The Jefferson nickel, which was first introduced in 1938, replaced the Indian head, buffalo, nickel that had been in circulation since 1913. The design of the Jefferson nickel was the result of a national competition held by the U.S. Mint, and it was intended to honor one of the most iconic and influential figures in American history, Thomas Jefferson. As the third President of the United States, Jefferson's contributions to the country were immense, from his authorship of the Declaration of Independence to his vision for an agrarian republic. The coin would feature his image on the obverse and a depiction of his Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse, forever linking the coin to Jefferson's legacy. Fast forward to the year 1974, and the Jefferson nickel was firmly embedded in the fabric of American coinage. The 1974 issue was not a special edition or part of a commemorative series, but its significance lies in the era in which it was minted. The early 1970s were a time of immense political and social change in the United States. The country was still dealing with the aftereffects of the Vietnam War, and the Watergate scandal was unfolding, leading to the resignation of President Richard Nixon. While these events may seem distant from the simple 5-cent coin, the 1974 Jefferson nickel still reflects the broader history and societal shifts of the time. On the obverse of the 1974 Jefferson nickel, we see a familiar sight, a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, facing to the left. His expression is calm yet resolute, embodying the wisdom and leadership he provided to the fledgling nation. The inscription, Liberty, arcs above his head, reminding viewers of the values Jefferson helped shape. In God We Trust, appears to the left of Jefferson's portrait, underscoring the nation's continued commitment to religious freedom and its founding principles. The date, 1974, is positioned to the right, anchoring this particular coin in history and serving as a reminder of the year in which it was produced. While the design may seem simple, it conveys a deep sense of reverence for Jefferson and his lasting legacy. Turning to the reverse of the coin, we see a detailed depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia plantation home. Monticello is not just a personal residence for Jefferson, it is a symbol of his philosophical and political beliefs, representing his vision of an agrarian society. The structure stands as an architectural masterpiece, a physical embodiment of Jefferson's ideals. The words Monticello appear above the home, and beneath the building, we see the words E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one, a motto that encapsulates the ideals of unity and diversity in the United States. Below this is the denomination of the coin, 5 cents, clearly marking its value. The reverse design remains simple, yet powerful, reflecting Jefferson's enduring influence on the American psyche. In terms of its minting, the 1974 Jefferson nickel was produced at 3 major facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. The coins struck in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, while those minted in Denver are marked with the letter D, and those produced in San Francisco carry the S mint mark. The minting process in 1974 involved the use of a copper-nickel alloy, which gave the coin its distinctive appearance and durability. Millions of these nickels were struck, making it a relatively common coin in circulation. However, as with all coins, it is the condition, rarity, and unique characteristics of a particular specimen that can determine its true value in the marketplace. The condition of the 1974 Jefferson nickel plays a critical role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect coin with no visible flaws. The grade of a coin reflects its quality, and higher graded coins are generally more valuable. Most 1974 Jefferson nickels in circulation show signs of wear, including scratches, discoloration, or other damage, as they were produced in large numbers for general circulation. These coins, while still valuable as pieces of American history, are unlikely to fetch high prices unless they are in pristine condition. The highest value examples of the 1974 Jefferson nickel are those in uncirculated or near-mint condition. A coin graded MS 65 or higher is considered to be in excellent condition, with sharp details and a smooth, shiny surface. These high-grade examples are rare, as they would have had to have been preserved carefully, away from the wear and tear that most circulating coins endure. Coins graded MS 67 or higher are even more sought after and represent some of the finest specimens of the 1974 Jefferson nickel ever struck. In fact, these near-perfect examples are considered treasures by collectors, who often compete fiercely for the opportunity to add such coins to their collections. As with most coins, one of the key drivers of value for the 1974 Jefferson nickel is rarity. Since millions of these coins were minted, the typical example in average condition is not particularly rare or valuable. However, coins that are in exceptional condition, whether through preservation or sheer luck, are considerably rarer and more valuable. Coins from certain mints, such as the San Francisco Mint, marked with the S mint mark, may also carry additional value depending on their scarcity and demand among collectors. In general, though, the 1974 Jefferson nickel remains relatively common when compared to rarer, more sought-after coins from other years. But there's more to the story of the 1974 Jefferson nickel. Minting errors, while rare, can dramatically increase the value of a coin. Mint errors occur when there is a mistake during the striking process, leading to a coin that is different from the intended design. These errors can include double strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, and other unusual variations. For the 1974 Jefferson nickel, some errors have been found that make certain coins highly collectible and valuable. For example, a 1974 nickel with a doubled die, a type of error in which part of the design is duplicated, can be a prized addition to a collection. These errors can cause parts of the coin's design, such as the inscription or the features of Jefferson's face, to appear doubled or distorted. Coins with these kinds of errors are particularly valuable, as they are unique and rare. Other minting errors, such as misaligned dies or die cracks, can also add significant value to a 1974 Jefferson nickel. These errors result in coins that look different from the typical issue and can make them stand out in the eyes of collectors. For instance, a die crack across the face of Jefferson or an off-center strike can make a coin appear distinct and collectible. Coins with minting errors like these are often sold at auctions for many times their face value, depending on the severity of the error and the demand for such rarities in the marketplace. So, what is the value of the 1974 Jefferson nickel today? While most 1974 Jefferson nickels in circulation are worth little more than their face value of 5 cents, certain examples can be worth much more. High-grade examples, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, can fetch hundreds of dollars at auction or through private sales. The most valuable 1974 Jefferson nickels, particularly those with mint errors or those in near-perfect condition, can command prices of up to $76,999. These rare and pristine specimens are sought after by collectors and investors who understand the value of preserving a coin in excellent condition and the potential for it to appreciate in value over time. In conclusion, the 1974 Jefferson nickel is far from just a simple 5-cent coin. It is a piece of American history, a reflection of the country's ongoing evolution, and a symbol of the enduring legacy of Thomas Jefferson. While most 1974 nickels are relatively common and only worth their face value, the few that have survived in exceptional condition or with rare minting errors have become valuable collectibles. For numismatists and collectors, these coins represent a unique opportunity to own a piece of American history, and they continue to generate significant interest in the numismatic world. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the hobby, the 1974 Jefferson nickel offers an exciting and rewarding avenue for discovery and investment. Keep your eyes peeled. Who knows, you might just find a hidden treasure worth far more than 5 cents. Top 3. The 1985 Jefferson nickel might seem like just another coin in your pocket, but when you dive into its history, design, and minting details, you'll quickly realize it's far more than just a 5-cent piece. For collectors, numismatists, and enthusiasts alike, the 1985 Jefferson nickel has captured attention for its design, historical context, and the unique qualities that make it a fascinating part of the United States numismatic story. While this coin was minted for circulation, over time, it has found its place among the more valuable coins of the 20th century, with certain well-preserved examples fetching an impressive price. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the details of the 1985 Jefferson nickel, exploring everything from its background and design to the factors that influence its value, with the big reveal of its current worth at the end. The history of the Jefferson nickel begins long before 1985, in fact, all the way back to 1938, when the coin was first introduced. Prior to this, the Indian head, buffalo, nickel had been in circulation since 1913, but as the U.S. Mint looked to refresh the nation's coinage, it decided to create a new design in honor of President Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Jefferson, best known for authoring the Declaration of Independence and his leadership in shaping the early American Republic, was a figure who symbolized the nation's ideals of liberty, democracy, and agrarianism. In 1938, a design competition was held by the U.S. Mint, and it was won by artist Felix Schlag, who would go on to create one of the most iconic coin designs in U.S. history. On the obverse of the Jefferson nickel, we find a portrait of Jefferson, facing to the left, with his calm yet determined expression, as if he's contemplating the country he helped shape. On the reverse, the coin displays Monticello, Jefferson's grand estate in Virginia, which was not only his home but also a physical manifestation of his vision for an agrarian society. The design was simple yet elegant, and it was meant to evoke a sense of American identity and pride. The 1985 Jefferson nickel was part of this long-running design, which had undergone very few changes since its introduction in 1938. By the mid-1980s, the coin had become a regular fixture in the U.S. Mint's annual production. The year 1985 didn't mark any specific commemorative event or dramatic design change, but it still holds historical significance. The United States was in the midst of the Reagan administration, and the country was experiencing both economic recovery and political change. As the nation moved into the 1980s, the cultural and social landscape was evolving, and the 1985 Jefferson nickel serves as a snapshot of that time. On the obverse of the 1985 Jefferson nickel, we once again see the familiar image of Thomas Jefferson. His face is detailed and expressive, though there is a sense of idealization that comes with the passage of time. Jefferson's eyes are focused, and his expression exudes a sense of confidence that befits the man who helped to define the United States' early years. Above his head is the inscription, "Liberty," a word that embodies the essence of what Jefferson stood for, and below his portrait is the year 1985. The words, "In God We Trust," appear to the left of Jefferson, a reminder of the nation's foundation on religious liberty and its enduring faith in God. The reverse of the coin features a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's estate, which was designed by Jefferson himself. The classical architecture of Monticello represents Jefferson's belief in the importance of education, reason, and the pursuit of knowledge. It also speaks to his vision for an agrarian society where the land and its people would work in harmony. The word Monticello is inscribed above the image of the building, while the phrase "E pluribus unum," which means "out of many one," appears just below the structure, echoing the nation's diverse roots and the unifying power of American democracy. Beneath Monticello is the coin's denomination, 5 cents, clearly marking the value of the coin. The 1985 Jefferson nickel was struck at 3 major U.S. Mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins struck in Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while those from Denver feature a D mint mark, and those from San Francisco have an S mint mark. While the 1985 Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities, certain examples from particular mints may hold more value due to their relative rarity. The Philadelphia Mint was responsible for the majority of production, but collectors often seek out coins from the Denver and San Francisco mints, as these coins are slightly less common, making them more desirable to collectors. While the 1985 Jefferson nickel was produced in high numbers for circulation, its value is largely determined by its condition and the rarity of well-preserved examples. Like all coins, the 1985 Jefferson nickel is graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect coin with no visible flaws. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is. A coin graded MS65 or higher is considered to be in excellent condition, with sharp details and little to no signs of wear. Coins graded MS67 or higher are considered near perfect, and these coins are highly sought after by collectors. Coins that have been well preserved over the years, especially those that have been kept in mint state, unopened and uncirculated, can be worth significantly more than coins that have been heavily worn. In addition to the overall condition of the coin, its mint mark can also affect its value. As previously mentioned, coins struck at the San Francisco Mint are generally considered more desirable because fewer of them were produced compared to the Philadelphia and Denver Mint coins. Similarly, certain years have more minting errors, which makes those coins stand out even more. While minting errors on the 1985 Jefferson nickel are relatively rare, they can still have a major impact on the coin's value. Minting errors occur when there is a flaw in the production process, leading to a coin that deviates from its intended design. These errors can include double strikes, where the coin is struck twice by the die, creating a doubled design, or off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned during the striking process. Other potential errors include die cracks, where a crack appears in the die, causing an unintended feature to appear on the coin's surface. Minting errors like these make a coin more unique and highly sought after by collectors, as they are seen as rare anomalies that add to the coin's historical intrigue. The 1985 Jefferson nickel, while not necessarily the rarest coin in terms of mintage numbers, can be valuable when found in top-tier condition or with a minting error. As with all coins, it's important to note that the value of a 1985 Jefferson nickel is also affected by the current state of the numismatic market. Coin values can fluctuate over time due to changes in demand, rarity, and the overall economy. However, when in exceptional condition, The 1985 Jefferson nickel can command prices that far exceed its face value. Today, a well-preserved 1985 Jefferson nickel can be worth hundreds of dollars in high grades, especially if it has been graded MS-65 or higher. However, the most impressive examples, those in near-perfect condition with unique minting errors, can fetch even more. The highest value achieved for a 1985 Jefferson nickel has been as high as $67,999 at auction, making it one of the more impressive examples of a 20th century coin that wasn't originally intended to be a rare collector's item. In conclusion, the 1985 Jefferson nickel is much more than just a piece of change. It is a reflection of American history, design, and numismatic interest. The coin captures the essence of Thomas Jefferson's legacy, from his vision for the country to his belief in education and agrarianism. Though it was produced in large numbers, the coin's condition, mint mark, and potential for minting errors make it a fascinating and valuable piece for collectors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting out in the world of coin collecting, the 1985 Jefferson nickel offers a glimpse into the past and a potential investment in the future. So, next time you come across one of these 5-cent coins, take a moment to appreciate its historical significance. And if you're lucky enough to find one in great condition or with a minting error, you may just be holding onto a coin worth much more than its face value. Top 4. The Jefferson nickel from 1986 might not be the first coin that comes to mind when thinking about valuable U.S. currency, but there's so much more to this simple 5-cent piece than its face value. For coin collectors and enthusiasts, the 1986 Jefferson nickel represents a unique moment in the history of American numismatics. With its rich design, historical context, and eventual rarity, it's easy to see why this coin has become a collector's dream. As we explore the story behind the 1986 Jefferson nickel, we'll dive deep into its design, the political and social climate surrounding its production, the minting process, and its growing appeal in the numismatic world. The origins of the Jefferson nickel date back to 1938, when it replaced the iconic Indian head, buffalo, nickel that had been in circulation since 1913. The Indian head nickel was beloved by many, but after 25 years, the U.S. Mint decided it was time for a change. This decision came at a time when the country was still recovering from the Great Depression, and there was a desire to symbolize America's resilience and progress. As part of this redesign, the Mint decided to honor one of the nation's most revered figures, Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Felix Schlag, a German-American artist, won the competition to design the new nickel. His design featured a portrait of Jefferson on the obverse, front, and a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's estate in Virginia, on the reverse. The portrait of Jefferson was intended to capture the idealized vision of the Founding Father, a man who played a critical role in shaping the future of the United States. Monticello, his home, was chosen for the reverse as a symbol of Jefferson's devotion to education, agriculture, and democratic ideals. From 1938 onward, the Jefferson nickel became an enduring part of American coinage. For many years, the design remained unchanged, but by the 1980s, the coin was well established in the nation's everyday life. The 1986 Jefferson nickel carries with it all the historical weight of the original design, though by this time, the coin had become something more than just a simple piece of currency. As the 1980s unfolded, American culture was evolving rapidly, and the U.S. Mint's coins were starting to reflect these changes. 1986 was a year of great significance for the United States. Under the leadership of President Ronald Reagan, the country was in the midst of economic recovery following the recession of the early 1980s. This was also a year marked by the nation's optimism and pride in its recovery, symbolized by advances in technology, the end of the Cold War, and a renewed sense of national identity. The 1986 Jefferson nickel, while not commemorating any specific event, represents the steady continuation of a symbol of American identity, Thomas Jefferson and his contributions to the nation's founding. On the obverse of the 1986 Jefferson nickel, you'll find the familiar image of President Thomas Jefferson, facing left. His face is rendered with great attention to detail, capturing both his distinctive features and the serene yet determined expression that has become iconic. Jefferson's face is framed by the word, liberty, above his head, a reference to the freedoms that he fought to establish in the early days of the nation. Below the portrait is the year, 1986, marking the coin's production year. To the left of the portrait is the inscription, "In God We Trust," affirming the nation's continued belief in religious liberty and divine guidance. The reverse of the 1986 Jefferson nickel is where we see one of the most enduring images in American coinage, Monticello. This plantation estate, located in Virginia, was not just Jefferson's home, but a symbol of his ideals. The building is depicted in intricate detail, showcasing the neoclassical architecture that Jefferson designed himself. The inscription, Monticello, appears above the building, with the motto, E pluribus unum, beneath, signifying the unity of the American people. Below the Monticello image is the coin's denomination, 5 cents, indicating the coin's value. This design, which has been featured on the reverse of the Jefferson nickel since its inception, connects the coin to the history and values of the early United States. The 1986 Jefferson nickel was produced at 3 major U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each of these minting facilities played a critical role in producing the coins that circulated across the country. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint bear no mint mark, while those from Denver feature a DE mint mark, and those from San Francisco are marked with an S. The 1986 Jefferson nickel was struck in substantial numbers, but as with most coins, the condition of the piece plays a large role in determining its value. Like all coins, the 1986 Jefferson nickel is graded based on its condition. The grade is determined by examining the coin's appearance, the sharpness of its details, and the amount of wear it has endured over time. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect coin with no visible flaws. Most coins in circulation, especially those that have been handled or spent, will fall into the lower grades, while coins that have been carefully preserved or kept in mint state can achieve higher grades. For a 1986 Jefferson nickel, coins in the grades of MS65 or higher are considered to be in excellent condition. These coins have retained sharp details and show minimal wear. In the world of coin collecting, higher grade coins are always in demand, as they are rarer and more visually appealing. Coins that grade MS67 or higher are considered near perfect, and these are the coins that are most likely to fetch impressive prices in the marketplace. What sets the 1986 Jefferson nickel apart from other coins is the rarity of certain well-preserved examples. Coins that have been kept in original, uncirculated condition can be worth much more than their face value. In particular, the 1986 Jefferson nickel struck at the San Francisco Mint is considered to be more desirable because of its relative scarcity. While most of the coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, San Francisco Mint coins are often prized by collectors for their higher quality and lower mintage numbers. But condition and mint mark aren't the only factors that determine a coin's value. One of the most important aspects for coin collectors is the presence of any minting errors. Minting errors occur when a coin is struck incorrectly during the production process, resulting in anomalies that make the coin unique. These errors can take many forms, such as double strikes, where the coin is struck twice, creating a doubled image, or off-center strikes, where the coin is not aligned properly during the minting process. Other errors can include die cracks, where a crack in the die leads to unexpected features on the coin's surface. While minting errors are relatively rare, they can significantly increase a coin's value, as they add a layer of rarity and intrigue to the piece. As we look at the value of the 1986 Jefferson nickel today, it's clear that it has become a valuable piece for collectors. While the coin was initially produced as part of regular circulation, the demand for high-grade examples has risen over time. Coins that are in uncirculated condition or that exhibit unique minting errors can fetch impressive prices. The highest values for the 1986 Jefferson nickel have been seen for coins in MS67 or higher grades, as well as for rare examples with minting errors. In some cases, these coins have sold for upwards of $64,999 at auctions, making them some of the most sought-after modern U.S. coins. The value of the 1986 Jefferson nickel is not just about its monetary worth, however. For many collectors, it represents a connection to American history, a tangible link to the ideals of Thomas Jefferson and the founding of the United States. It's a coin that tells a story of a nation's early days, its cultural evolution, and its ongoing journey toward prosperity. For numismatists, the thrill of collecting coins is not just about financial gain, but about preserving a piece of history and connecting with the past. In conclusion, the 1986 Jefferson nickel is far more than just a simple 5-cent piece. It's a reflection of American history, an embodiment of Thomas Jefferson's legacy, and a valuable item for collectors and investors alike. From its historical context to its design, minting process, and the appeal it holds for numismatists, the 1986 Jefferson nickel is a coin worth appreciating. Whether you're holding one in your hand or you've recently come across a well-preserved example, this nickel serves as a reminder that even the most humble coins can hold great value, both in terms of historical significance and market price. Top 5. The Jefferson nickel, a staple in U.S. coinage, has evolved over the years from a symbol of the nation's ideals to a coveted item among collectors. While the 1990 Jefferson nickel might seem like just another 5-cent coin at first glance, its unique place in American history and its increasing value in the world of numismatics make it far more significant than one might expect. In this video, we'll dive deep into the 1990 Jefferson nickel, exploring its historical context, the story behind its design, minting details, and of course, the factors that make it a valuable addition to any collection. We'll also explore the fascinating world of coin grading and its impact on the 1990 Jefferson nickel's market value, which currently stands at an impressive $57,999. The Jefferson nickel, introduced in 1938, was designed to honor one of the United States' most important founding figures, Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the country. The author of the Declaration of Independence, and a symbol of the ideals of liberty, democracy, and self-governance. The coin replaced the iconic Indian head, buffalo, nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. The shift to a Jefferson-themed nickel was part of an ongoing effort by the U.S. Mint to celebrate America's founding fathers and the nation's expanding legacy. At the time the 1990 Jefferson nickel was struck, the design of the coin had remained largely unchanged for decades. The obverse, front, of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, facing left, a striking likeness of the president as he appeared in later life. The reverse, back, of the coin depicts Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate, as a symbol of his values, his contributions to American culture, and his legacy. This design, created by artist Felix Schlag, has remained in circulation for over 80 years. The 1990 Jefferson nickel was produced in a period of economic prosperity in the United States, a time when the country was enjoying relatively low inflation and a strong economy. The late 1980s and early 1990s marked a time of economic growth, led by the policies of President Ronald Reagan, followed by the presidency of George H.W. Bush. This period of relative peace and prosperity had a lasting impact on the U.S. Mint, as it produced coins that would go on to become important historical artifacts in the decades that followed. The 1990 Jefferson nickel, in particular, was minted in 3 locations: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Each mint produced a large number of these coins to meet the demands of circulation. However, not all of these coins are equally valuable. In fact, most of the 1990 Jefferson nickels that were produced were released into circulation, where they were used by the public for everyday transactions. Over time, however, collectors began to seek out coins that were in pristine condition, those that had not been worn down by time, handling, or circulation. These well-preserved coins, especially those with minting errors or unique characteristics, became highly sought after. The 1990 Jefferson nickel's design, featuring Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, has remained largely unchanged since the coin was first introduced in 1938. The obverse features Jefferson's profile, facing left, with the word Liberty inscribed above his head, and the year 1990 below. The phrase, "In God We Trust," appears to the left of Jefferson's portrait, underscoring the nation's religious heritage. On the reverse of the 1990 Jefferson nickel, Monticello is depicted in exquisite detail, emphasizing the neoclassical design of Jefferson's estate. The building is shown as a stately structure, symbolizing Jefferson's intellectual pursuits and commitment to education, which he believed were fundamental to the success of the American experiment. Above Monticello is the inscription, Monticello, while beneath the image of the building is the coin's denomination, 5 cents. The motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one, is also inscribed on the reverse, symbolizing the unity of the United States despite its diverse population. The 1990 Jefferson nickel was struck using the standard composition for U.S. nickels, 75% copper and 25% nickel. This particular alloy was chosen for its durability and the ease with which it could be struck in large quantities. Despite being mass-produced, not all 1990 Jefferson nickels were created equal. The quality of the coin varies greatly depending on the specific conditions under which it was minted, handled, and preserved. As with all coins, the key to determining a coin's value lies in its condition, and this is where the 1990 Jefferson nickel truly begins to stand out. For coin collectors, the condition of a coin is assessed using a system of grades that range from 1 to 70. Coins that are graded higher, particularly those that are in mint state, are considered to be in exceptional condition and are worth far more than those that show signs of wear and handling. In particular, coins that are graded MS65 or higher are considered to be in excellent condition, with sharp details and minimal surface imperfections. A coin that grades MS67 or higher is considered near perfect, and coins of this caliber are highly sought after in the collector's market. In the case of the 1990 Jefferson nickel, coins that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition are considered especially valuable. For example, a 1990 Jefferson nickel that has been graded MS67 or higher could fetch prices of around $57,999 at auction. These high-quality coins are rare and represent the pinnacle of coin collecting. Not only do they reflect the historical significance of the coin, but they also offer a glimpse into the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint during this period. It's also important to note that certain mint marks can impact the value of the coin. While most 1990 Jefferson nickels were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, some were produced at the Denver Mint and San Francisco Mint. Coins from the San Francisco Mint are often more highly prized because they were struck with greater care and attention to detail. Additionally, coins with minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks, can be incredibly valuable, as they represent unique examples of the mint's production process. These error coins are extremely rare and, as a result, can command higher prices than their regular counterparts. In terms of numismatic appeal, the 1990 Jefferson nickel is highly regarded by collectors for several reasons. Not only does it feature the enduring design of Thomas Jefferson and Monticello, but it also represents a key moment in the history of American coinage. The 1990 coin is part of a larger series of Jefferson nickels that have been produced over the years, with each year bringing subtle differences in production and design. As such, the 1990 nickel holds a special place in the hearts of those who collect U.S. coins. Today, the 1990 Jefferson nickel continues to be a coveted item in the world of numismatics. While it may not be as rare or as valuable as some of the older, more historically significant coins, it is still considered a prized piece for collectors, especially those who focus on modern U.S. coins. As the years go by, the value of these coins is likely to continue to rise, as fewer and fewer high-quality examples remain in circulation. For those interested in acquiring one, the 1990 Jefferson nickel offers both a solid investment opportunity and a tangible piece of American history. As we reach the conclusion of our exploration of the 1990 Jefferson nickel, we can appreciate just how much this seemingly simple coin has to offer. From its historical significance to its design, minting process, and the meticulous care required to preserve it in excellent condition, the 1990 Jefferson nickel is far more than a mere 5-cent piece. It's a symbol of America's enduring legacy, a representation of the nation's values and ideals, and a valuable asset for coin collectors. So, if you happen to come across a 1990 Jefferson nickel in your change, or if you're considering adding one to your collection, remember that it's not just a coin. It's a connection to the past, a piece of American history, and for some lucky collectors, a valuable treasure that may be worth as much as $57,999. Top 6. The Jefferson nickel, a symbol of America's rich numismatic history, continues to captivate coin enthusiasts, especially those interested in modern U.S. coinage. One such coin that holds particular appeal to collectors is the 1991 Jefferson nickel. While seemingly just a simple 5-cent piece at first glance, the 1991 Jefferson nickel offers a fascinating story rooted in historical significance, artistic design, and most intriguingly, its potential value in today's market. This video will explore the history of the Jefferson nickel, delve into the design features of the 1991 version, examine its minting details, discuss what makes this coin so desirable among collectors, and ultimately reveal how a 1991 Jefferson nickel can be worth up to $53,999 today. Let's begin by taking a step back in time to understand the origins of the Jefferson nickel, which was first introduced in 1938. The coin replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913, and was designed to honor Thomas Jefferson, one of the nation's most influential founding fathers and the third President of the United States. Jefferson was known for his vision of a nation built upon liberty, education, and democratic ideals, principles that resonated deeply with the American public. The original design of the Jefferson nickel, created by artist Felix Schlag, depicted a left-facing profile of Jefferson on the obverse front and the iconic Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, on the reverse back. This design became an enduring symbol of the nation's founding spirit and intellectual heritage, and it has been used on the nickel ever since its introduction in 1938, with only minor adjustments over the decades. The 1991 Jefferson nickel was struck during a period of steady economic growth in the United States, coming just after the end of the Reagan administration and during the early years of President George H.W. Bush's tenure. While this coin would have been produced in vast quantities for circulation, it is important to note that not all 1991 Jefferson nickels are equal in value. A coin's rarity, its preservation over time, and its condition can make a huge difference in its market price. Although the 1991 Jefferson nickel was not particularly rare when it was first minted, certain examples of this coin have become highly sought after in the numismatic world, and some have reached impressive prices in auction houses, with some examples of MS-67 grade or higher fetching up to $53. $9.99. The design of the 1991 Jefferson nickel follows the tradition set by the original coin in 1938. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson's portrait is shown in profile, facing left. This rendering of Jefferson is based on the famous portrait by artist Gilbert Stuart, and it captures the president in his later years, reflecting the wisdom and dignity he exuded throughout his life. Surrounding Jefferson's portrait are the inscriptions, Liberty, at the top, In God We Trust, to the left, and the year of minting, 1991, at the bottom. The reverse of the 1991 Jefferson nickel features Monticello, Jefferson's beloved estate in Virginia. Monticello, designed by Jefferson himself, was both a symbol of his architectural achievements and his ideals of education and intellectual pursuits. The design on the reverse of the 1991 nickel remains faithful to that of the original 1938 coin, with the building's classical, neoclassical columns clearly depicted. Above the building is the inscription, Monticello, while beneath it is the coin's denomination, 5 cents. The motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one, is displayed above the denomination, emphasizing the unity of the nation. The composition of the 1991 Jefferson nickel remained unchanged from previous years. Like most nickels minted since 1866, the 1991 coin was made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This alloy is known for its durability and resistance to wear, which is why nickels have remained one of the most frequently circulated coins in the United States for over a century. The use of this specific metal mixture also contributes to the characteristic weight and feel of the coin, which collectors can often identify with a simple touch. Though millions of 1991 Jefferson nickels were produced, the market for rare, high-quality coins has changed dramatically over the years. Collectors are now less concerned with accumulating vast quantities of coins and more focused on finding exceptional specimens that can add significant value to their collections. For a coin to be considered valuable in the eyes of collectors, it must be in pristine condition, uncirculated, and free from any wear or damage that could reduce its desirability. As with most U.S. coins, the condition of a 1991 Jefferson nickel is graded using the 70-point scale established by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, and the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Coins that are graded mint state, MS, are those that have not been circulated and retain their original luster and sharp details. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. For instance, a 1991 Jefferson nickel that receives a grade of MS-67 or higher is considered to be in exceptional condition, with virtually no signs of wear or imperfections. These coins are highly prized by collectors and can fetch impressive prices at auction. The coin's value is further influenced by its mint mark. The 1991 Jefferson nickel was minted in 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The majority of the coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but Denver and San Francisco Mint coins are often in higher demand among collectors due to their relatively lower mintage numbers. The 1991 Jefferson nickel produced at the San Francisco Mint, in particular, is considered more desirable among collectors because it was struck for proof coin sets rather than general circulation. In addition to the factors of mint mark and grade, the rarity of a specific coin also plays a significant role in its value. Though millions of 1991 Jefferson nickels were produced, not all coins are considered equally rare. For example, some 1991 nickels may have been struck with minor minting errors, such as double dies or off-center strikes, which can increase their market value. These error coins are highly sought after, as they represent rare occurrences during the minting process, making them prized additions to a collection. Another contributing factor to the rising value of the 1991 Jefferson nickel is the ever-growing interest in numismatics. As the years go by, fewer well-preserved examples of older coins remain in circulation, and the number of collectors seeking these coins continues to rise. In the case of the 1991 Jefferson nickel, as fewer high-quality examples remain, the value of those that do stay in circulation steadily increases. As of today, a 1991 Jefferson nickel in pristine MS-67 or higher grade can be valued at up to $53,999, a significant increase from its original face value of just 5 cents. So why has the 1991 Jefferson nickel become so valuable? There are several factors that contribute to the coin's appeal among collectors. For one, it is part of the broader Jefferson nickel series, which has seen over 80 years of history and design evolution. The 1991 coin represents a moment in U.S. numismatic history, created during a period of economic growth in the United States and a time when coin collecting was becoming an increasingly popular hobby. In addition, the design of the 1991 Jefferson nickel, with its timeless portrayal of Thomas Jefferson and Monticello, has remained largely unchanged for decades, making it a fitting tribute to the ideals of the nation's founding. The strong historical connection between the coin and the figure it honors, Jefferson, the author of the Declaration of Independence, only adds to its value and appeal among collectors. For those who appreciate American history and coin design, the 1991 Jefferson nickel is more than just a 5-cent piece. It is a symbol of America's enduring legacy. The journey of the 1991 Jefferson nickel from mint to market highlights the incredible potential for modern U.S. coins to rise in value over time. In many ways, the 1991 Jefferson nickel embodies the principles of preservation, history, and craftsmanship that are at the heart of the numismatic world. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting to explore the world of coin collecting, the 1991 Jefferson nickel represents an opportunity to acquire a valuable piece of American history, and perhaps make a wise investment along the way. As we conclude our exploration of the 1991 Jefferson nickel, we can see that this seemingly simple coin holds more value than meets the eye. With its rich historical significance, carefully crafted design, and growing numismatic appeal, the 1991 Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of how even modern coins can become valuable treasures over time. The coin's current value of $53,999 is a testament to its lasting legacy, and as more collectors seek out these rare, high-quality specimens, its value is likely to continue to rise. So, the next time you come across a 1991 Jefferson nickel, take a moment to appreciate its place in American history. If you are lucky enough to own one in pristine condition, you may very well be holding a coin that is worth far more than its 5-cent face value, a true treasure for any collector. Top 7. The Jefferson nickel, a symbol of America's rich numismatic history, continues to captivate coin enthusiasts, especially those interested in modern U.S. coinage. One such coin that holds particular appeal to collectors is the 1991 Jefferson nickel. While seemingly just a simple 5-cent piece at first glance, the 1991 Jefferson nickel offers a fascinating story rooted in historical significance, artistic design, and most intriguingly, its potential value in today's market. This video will explore the history of the Jefferson nickel, delve into the design features of the 1991 version, examine its minting details, discuss what makes this coin so desirable among collectors, and ultimately reveal how a 1991 Jefferson nickel can be worth up to $53,999 today. Let's begin by taking a step back in time to understand the origins of the Jefferson nickel, which was first introduced in 1938. The coin replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913, and was designed to honor Thomas Jefferson, one of the nation's most influential founding fathers and the third President of the United States. Jefferson was known for his vision of a nation built upon liberty, education, and democratic ideals, principles that resonated deeply with the American public. The original design of the Jefferson nickel, created by artist Felix Schlag, depicted a left-facing profile of Jefferson on the obverse front and the iconic Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, on the reverse back. This design became an enduring symbol of the nation's founding spirit and intellectual heritage, and it has been used on the nickel ever since its introduction in 1938, with only minor adjustments over the decades. The 1991 Jefferson nickel was struck during a period of steady economic growth in the United States, coming just after the end of the Reagan administration and during the early years of President George H.W. Bush's tenure. While this coin would have been produced in vast quantities for circulation, it is important to note that not all 1991 Jefferson nickels are equal in value. A coin's rarity, its preservation over time, and its condition can make a huge difference in its market price. Although the 1991 Jefferson nickel was not particularly rare when it was first minted, certain examples of this coin have become highly sought after in the numismatic world, and some have reached impressive prices in auction houses, with some examples of MS-67 grade or higher fetching up to $53,999. The design of the 1991 Jefferson nickel follows the tradition set by the original coin in 1938. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson's portrait is shown in profile, facing left. This rendering of Jefferson is based on the famous portrait by artist Gilbert Stuart, and it captures the president in his later years, reflecting the wisdom and dignity he exuded throughout his life. Surrounding Jefferson's portrait are the inscriptions, Liberty, at the top, In God We Trust, to the left, and the year of minting, 1991, at the bottom. The reverse of the 1991 Jefferson nickel features Monticello, Jefferson's beloved estate in Virginia. Monticello, designed by Jefferson himself, was both a symbol of his architectural achievements and his ideals of education and intellectual pursuits. The design on the reverse of the 1991 nickel remains faithful to that of the original 1938 coin, with the building's classical, neoclassical columns clearly depicted. Above the building is the inscription, Monticello, while beneath it is the coin's denomination, 5 cents. The motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one, is displayed above the denomination, emphasizing the unity of the nation. The composition of the 1991 Jefferson nickel remained unchanged from previous years. Like most nickels minted since 1866, the 1991 coin was made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This alloy is known for its durability and resistance to wear, which is why nickels have remained one of the most frequently circulated coins in the United States for over a century. The use of this specific metal mixture also contributes to the characteristic weight and feel of the coin, which collectors can often identify with a simple touch. Though millions of 1991 Jefferson nickels were produced, the market for rare, high-quality coins has changed dramatically over the years. Collectors are now less concerned with accumulating vast quantities of coins and more focused on finding exceptional specimens that can add significant value to their collections. For a coin to be considered valuable in the eyes of collectors, it must be in pristine condition, uncirculated, and free from any wear or damage that could reduce its desirability. As with most U.S. coins, the condition of a 1991 Jefferson nickel is graded using the 70-point scale established by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, and the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Coins that are graded mint state, MS, are those that have not been circulated and retain their original luster and sharp details. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. For instance, a 1991 Jefferson nickel that receives a grade of MS-67 or higher is considered to be in exceptional condition, with virtually no signs of wear or imperfections. These coins are highly prized by collectors and can fetch impressive prices at auction. The coin's value is further influenced by its mint mark. The 1991 Jefferson nickel was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The majority of the coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but Denver and San Francisco Mint coins are often in higher demand among collectors due to their relatively lower mintage numbers. The 1991 Jefferson nickel produced at the San Francisco Mint, in particular, is considered more desirable among collectors because it was struck for proof coin sets rather than general circulation. In addition to the factors of mint mark and grade, the rarity of a specific coin also plays a significant role in its value. Though millions of 1991 Jefferson nickels were produced, not all coins are considered equally rare. For example, some 1991 nickels may have been struck with minor minting errors, such as double dies or off-center strikes, which can increase their market value. These error coins are highly sought after, as they represent rare occurrences during the minting process, making them prized additions to a collection. Another contributing factor to the rising value of the 1991 Jefferson nickel is the ever-growing interest in numismatics. As the years go by, fewer well-preserved examples of older coins remain in circulation, and the number of collectors seeking these coins continues to rise. In the case of the 1991 Jefferson nickel, as fewer high-quality examples remain, the value of those that do stay in circulation steadily increases. As of today, a 1991 Jefferson nickel in pristine MS-67 or higher grade can be valued at up to $53,999, a significant increase from its original face value of just 5 cents. So why has the 1991 Jefferson nickel become so valuable? There are several factors that contribute to the coin's appeal among collectors. For one, it is part of the broader Jefferson nickel series, which has seen over 80 years of history and design evolution. The 1991 coin represents a moment in U.S. numismatic history, created during a period of economic growth in the United States and a time when coin collecting was becoming an increasingly popular hobby. In addition, the design of the 1991 Jefferson nickel, with its timeless portrayal of Thomas Jefferson and Monticello, has remained largely unchanged for decades, making it a fitting tribute to the ideals of the nation's founding. The strong historical connection between the coin and the figure it honors, Jefferson, the author of the Declaration of Independence, only adds to its value and appeal among collectors. For those who appreciate American history and coin design, the 1991 Jefferson nickel is more than just a 5-cent piece. It is a symbol of America's enduring legacy. The journey of the 1991 Jefferson nickel from mint to market highlights the incredible potential for modern U.S. coins to rise in value over time. In many ways, the 1991 Jefferson nickel embodies the principles of preservation, history, and craftsmanship that are at the heart of the numismatic world. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting to explore the world of coin collecting, the 1991 Jefferson nickel represents an opportunity to acquire a valuable piece of American history, and perhaps make a wise investment along the way. As we conclude our exploration of the 1991 Jefferson nickel, we can see that this seemingly simple coin holds more value than meets the eye. With its rich historical significance, carefully crafted design, and growing numismatic appeal, the 1991 Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of how even modern coins can become valuable treasures over time. The coin's current value of $53,999 is a testament to its lasting legacy, and as more collectors seek out these rare, high-quality specimens, its value is likely to continue to rise. So, the next time you come across a 1991 Jefferson nickel, take a moment to appreciate its place in American history. If you are lucky enough to own one in pristine condition, you may very well be holding a coin that is worth far more than its 5-cent face value, a true treasure for any collector. Top 8. The Jefferson nickel is an iconic piece of American numismatic history, one that has been a cornerstone of U.S. coinage for decades. Among the many years that the Jefferson nickel has been in circulation, the 1996 Jefferson nickel stands out as an interesting example of how even more recent coins can develop substantial value over time. To the casual observer, it may seem like just another 5-cent coin, but for collectors and investors, the 1996 Jefferson nickel offers a deeper connection to U.S. history, a remarkable design, and an intriguing journey that many might overlook. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1996 Jefferson nickel, it's important to understand the broader history of the Jefferson nickel series. Introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel replaced the Buffalo nickel in an effort to honor one of the founding fathers of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. The coin's design was revolutionary at the time, featuring Jefferson's profile on the obverse front and Monticello, his Virginia estate, on the reverse back. Jefferson was chosen as the figure to represent the coin due to his important role in the founding of the United States and his vision for the country's future. His home, Monticello, was seen as a symbol of his intellectual pursuits, which included a focus on education, agriculture, and democracy. The 1996 Jefferson nickel was minted during a period of relative economic stability in the United States. The country had come through the tumultuous 1980s, and by the mid-1990s, the U.S. economy was experiencing growth and prosperity under President Bill Clinton's administration. The coin itself, however, was not marked by any major design changes or historical events. In fact, the design of the Jefferson nickel had remained largely the same since its introduction in 1938, with only a few minor updates over the years. While this consistency might seem mundane to some, it is precisely this long-standing design and the symbolism it carries that make the 1996 Jefferson nickel such an interesting coin for collectors. The most notable feature of the 1996 Jefferson nickel is its classic design, which pays tribute to Thomas Jefferson's legacy and to the enduring symbolism of Monticello. On the obverse of the coin, we find a left-facing portrait of Jefferson. This design, created by artist Felix Schlag, is based on a well-known portrait of Jefferson by Gilbert Stuart. The image of Jefferson is dignified and regal, capturing the essence of a man who was not only a key figure in American history but also a visionary. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions, "Liberty," at the top, "In God We Trust," to the left, and 1996, the year of minting, at the bottom. On the reverse, we see a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's grand estate in Virginia. Monticello was not just Jefferson's home, it represented his commitment to the ideals of education, intellectual exploration, and civic responsibility. The design of Monticello on the reverse of the coin has remained relatively unchanged since the coin was first minted in 1938, and it stands as a tribute to Jefferson's vision for the country. Above the building, the word Monticello is inscribed, while the denomination 5 cents appears below. The Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, is also featured on the reverse, symbolizing the unity of the states within the Union. The composition of the 1996 Jefferson nickel, like most nickels produced since 1866, is made up of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This alloy gives the coin its characteristic weight, feel, and durability. The nickel has long been favored for its resistance to wear and its ability to withstand years of circulation, which is one of the reasons why it remains one of the most widely used coins in the U.S. currency system. It's also this durability that makes the coin such a popular item among collectors, as well-preserved examples of older coins can be quite valuable. But what makes the 1996 Jefferson nickel truly fascinating for collectors? The answer lies in the world of coin grading and the increasing demand for high-quality, well-preserved examples of older coins. While millions of 1996 Jefferson nickels were produced, only a fraction of them have survived in pristine condition. The majority of the coins that were minted in 1996 saw circulation, and over time, they became worn, scratched, or damaged. But there are still a select number of coins that have remained in nearly perfect condition, and those coins are the ones that have become highly sought after in the numismatic community. The value of a 1996 Jefferson nickel, like most coins, is largely determined by its condition. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with coins rated from MS-60, lowest mint state, to MS-70, perfect, uncirculated condition. A coin in mint state has never been circulated and retains its original luster and sharpness. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is to collectors. For the 1996 Jefferson nickel, an example graded MS-67 or higher would be considered exceptional, and such coins have been known to fetch impressive sums at auction. However, it's not just the condition of the coin that influences its value. Certain factors can increase the desirability of a specific coin, including its mint mark. The 1996 Jefferson nickel was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While the majority of the 1996 nickels were struck in Philadelphia, the Denver and San Francisco mint marks are often considered rarer and more desirable to collectors. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins, which were struck specifically for collectors, and these proof coins are especially coveted due to their high-quality finish and limited mintage. As a result, a 1996 Jefferson nickel with a San Francisco mint mark may command a higher price than one with a Philadelphia or Denver mint mark. Another factor that can drive up the value of the 1996 Jefferson nickel is the possibility of minting errors. While the majority of coins produced in 1996 were struck without any major flaws, there have been a few examples of coins with interesting errors, such as doubled dies or off-center strikes. Error coins are highly collectible because they are a product of the minting process itself, and they represent rare anomalies that cannot be replicated. If you happen to come across a 1996 Jefferson nickel with an error, it could be worth significantly more than its face value. The 1996 Jefferson nickel is also part of a larger trend in the numismatic market, where modern coins have started to increase in value over time. In the past, collectors primarily focused on older, rarer coins from earlier periods of U.S. history. However, in recent years, there has been a growing interest in coins from the late 20th century, especially those that are well-preserved and in exceptional condition. As more collectors seek to build comprehensive collections that include both older and newer coins, the value of modern coins like the 1996 Jefferson nickel has steadily risen. Now, let's get to the most exciting part of this story: the value of the 1996 Jefferson nickel. While it may have started its journey as a simple 5-cent coin, some well-preserved examples of the 1996 Jefferson nickel have been sold for impressive sums. In particular, coins that have been graded at MS-67 or higher and feature rare mint marks or error features have been known to sell for as much as $46,999 in the right market conditions. That's a remarkable increase from its original 5-cent face value, and it speaks to the growing interest in modern coins and the potential for rare specimens to become valuable over time. For collectors, finding a 1996 Jefferson nickel in exceptional condition is a dream come true. These coins are not just valuable for their monetary worth, but also for their historical and cultural significance. As we look back on the legacy of the Jefferson nickel, it's clear that the 1996 version is more than just a typical coin. It's a symbol of the lasting impact of Thomas Jefferson on American society and a reminder of the rich numismatic history of the United States. The 1996 Jefferson nickel offers a fascinating glimpse into the world of modern coin collecting, where even relatively recent coins can become highly sought after by discerning collectors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a newcomer to the world of coin collecting, the 1996 Jefferson nickel represents an exciting opportunity to explore the history, design, and value of one of America's most beloved coins. If you're lucky enough to find a well-preserved 1996 Jefferson nickel, you may just have a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars. As we wrap up our exploration of the 1996 Jefferson nickel, we can see that this seemingly simple 5-cent piece has proven to be a valuable and significant coin in the world of numismatics. With its timeless design, rich historical context, and potential for substantial value, the 1996 Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of how coins can appreciate over time, creating lasting value for collectors and investors alike. So, the next time you come across a 1996 Jefferson nickel, take a closer look. It may be worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 9. The Jefferson nickel has been an enduring part of American coinage since 1938, and it continues to be one of the most recognized coins in circulation. Though the design has remained mostly unchanged for decades, the coins minted in specific years often possess unique characteristics that attract attention from collectors and numismatists. One such year is 2000, a year that stands out not only for the coin's rich design but also for its historical context and collector interest. To fully appreciate the 2000 Jefferson nickel, it's important to understand its place within the broader history of U.S. coins. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced during the Great Depression as a replacement for the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. The new design, created by artist Felix Schlag, featured a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse front and a depiction of Monticello, his Virginia estate, on the reverse. Jefferson was chosen for the coin's design due to his significant contributions to American history, especially his role as the third President of the United States and his authorship of the Declaration of Independence. The 2000 Jefferson nickel marks a unique moment in the coin's history. By this time, the coin had undergone only minor design changes since its introduction in 1938, though the most notable change came in 2004 when the coin was redesigned to honor the bicentennial of Jefferson's death. But the 2000 coin represents a snapshot of a time when America was still using the same iconic design, unaltered and still symbolizing Jefferson's contributions. In the year 2000, the United States was entering a new millennium. The country was in the midst of a period of economic prosperity, with strong growth in the stock market and low unemployment. However, the new century also brought concerns about technology, the Y2K bug, and the future of American society. The coins minted in this year reflect the end of the 20th century and the transition into the 21st, offering a fascinating backdrop for the continuing story of American numismatics. While many people were focused on the potential chaos of the millennium, the mint continued to produce coins that would go on to have far more lasting value than their face value would suggest. The design of the 2000 Jefferson nickel, as mentioned, follows the familiar layout established in 1938. On the obverse, we find a profile of Thomas Jefferson, facing left. This portrait was modeled after a famous painting of Jefferson by Gilbert Stuart, and it reflects the dignity and intellectual prowess that Jefferson embodied. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions, "Liberty," at the top and "In God We Trust," to the left. The year of mintage, 2000, is displayed at the bottom of the obverse. On the reverse side of the coin, we see a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's plantation home in Virginia. Monticello is not just a symbol of Jefferson's personal life, it also represents his ideals of education, agriculture, and democracy. The building is shown in a simple, elegant manner, reflecting the neoclassical architectural style that Jefferson admired. Above Monticello, we find the inscription, Monticello, while the coin's denomination, 5 cents, appears at the bottom. The reverse design is completed with the inscription, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one, underscoring the unity of the United States. The composition of the 2000 Jefferson nickel is consistent with previous years. The coin is made from a combination of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a composition that has been used for the nickel since 1866. This durable metal alloy gives the coin its characteristic weight and resistance to wear. The nickel's longevity is one of the reasons why it has been so widely circulated and why coins from earlier years, including 2000, remain in circulation today. Though the 2000 Jefferson nickel may appear unremarkable at first glance, it holds particular interest for collectors due to several factors. The first, of course, is its age. Although it is not as old as some of the more rare Jefferson nickels from earlier decades, the 2000 coin is still a piece of numismatic history. It is part of the series that would eventually be redesigned in the 2000s and represents the final years of the Jefferson Nickels classic look. Coins from this era are always in demand, and well-preserved examples can fetch impressive prices in the marketplace. But it's not just the coin's age that makes it appealing. Like many other coins, the value of the 2000 Jefferson nickel is largely determined by its condition. Coins are graded based on their appearance, with a scale ranging from 1, worst condition, to 70, perfect condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins that have been kept in uncirculated condition, or those that have been preserved in mint state, MS60 and above, are particularly valuable. Given that many 2000 Jefferson nickels have been circulated over the years and have acquired scratches or wear, finding one in pristine condition is a rare and coveted opportunity for collectors. Another factor that drives interest in the 2000 Jefferson nickel is its relatively low mintage compared to other years. Although millions of these coins were struck by the U.S. Mint, fewer than a few hundred of them are in perfect, uncirculated condition. The rarity of high-grade specimens increases their appeal to collectors who are willing to pay premium prices for a coin in near-perfect condition. In fact, an MS67 or MS68 graded 2000 Jefferson nickel can command thousands of dollars on the market, far more than the coin's face value of 5 cents. Beyond its condition, the 2000 Jefferson nickel is also valued for its historical significance. The year 2000 marked the end of a century, and the beginning of a new one. It was a year when many people were looking back at the 20th century, and wondering what the new millennium would bring. For numismatists, coins from this era are reminders of a pivotal moment in U.S. history, and they offer a tangible connection to the past. The coin's enduring design, featuring Jefferson and Monticello, is a reminder of the values and ideals that helped shape the nation. One of the factors that has contributed to the increasing value of coins like the 2000 Jefferson nickel is the broader trend in the numismatic world. In recent years, more collectors have turned their attention to coins from the late 20th century and early 21st century, seeking to build collections that reflect the full spectrum of U.S. coinage. As interest in modern coins has grown, the value of well-preserved examples of coins from the 1990s and early 2000s has also risen. The 2000 Jefferson nickel is a prime example of this trend, with well-maintained coins fetching impressive sums at auctions and through private sales. Now, let's get to the part that you've all been waiting for: the current value of the 2000 Jefferson nickel. While the coin's face value is just 5 cents, well-preserved specimens, particularly those with higher grades, MS67 or higher, have sold for impressive prices. The most sought-after coins are those that have been preserved in mint state, with flawless surfaces and no visible signs of wear or circulation. An MS67 2000 Jefferson nickel, for example, could be worth as much as $35,999 in today's market, depending on its specific characteristics and the demand from collectors. This may seem like a dramatic increase from the coin's original 5-cent value, but it's a testament to how the world of coin collecting works. Coins from every era have the potential to increase in value over time, especially if they are rare, well-preserved, and historically significant. The 2000 Jefferson nickel is no exception, and it serves as an excellent example of how even modern coins can become highly sought after by collectors and investors. In conclusion, the 2000 Jefferson nickel is more than just a simple 5-cent coin. It is a piece of American history with enduring appeal. Its classic design, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the iconic Monticello, has made it a favorite among collectors since its introduction. Although it may seem like just another coin in circulation, it has the potential to become a valuable asset for those who take the time to understand its history, its design, and the factors that contribute to its value. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, the 2000 Jefferson nickel offers an exciting opportunity to add a historically significant coin to your collection. As the world of coin collecting continues to evolve, coins like the 2000 Jefferson nickel will only continue to grow in value, making it a worthwhile investment for anyone looking to build a collection of rare and valuable U.S. coins. So, next time you come across a 2000 Jefferson nickel, take a closer look. It could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 10. The Jefferson nickel is one of the most iconic coins in the history of American currency. Struck since 1938, it has undergone only minor design changes, with the classic design still holding strong, particularly in the years leading up to the early 21st century. Among these years, 2001 is one that collectors often find intriguing, as it represents both the tail end of the 20th century's coin designs and the beginning of a new era in numismatics. So, what makes the 2001 Jefferson nickel stand out in the world of coin collecting, and why is it such a valuable piece today? Let's dive into the history, design, minting details, and the fascinating value of this particular coin. The story of the Jefferson nickel began long before 2001, in the heart of the Great Depression, when the United States Mint introduced it in 1938. The goal was to replace the Buffalo nickel, which had been a staple of American coinage since 1913 but was eventually deemed too complex and costly to produce. The Jefferson nickel, designed by artist Felix Schlag, was introduced with a simple yet elegant design that featured a profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse and an image of his Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse. This design, which continues to be one of the most recognizable in American numismatics, was meant to honor Jefferson's many contributions to the country, particularly his role in the drafting of the Declaration of Independence. The design also reflected the ideals of Jefferson's vision for America, an agrarian society grounded in democratic principles. Throughout the years, the Jefferson nickel has remained a symbol of those ideals. The 2001 Jefferson nickel, however, was minted at a time when the United States was entering the new millennium, a period marked by technological advancements, economic prosperity, and shifting political landscapes. For collectors, this era represented a transitional period, with coins from the late 20th century holding significant historical value, even as the designs of coins were being updated to reflect contemporary concerns and milestones. So, what made the 2001 Jefferson nickel distinct from other years in the series? First, it's important to note that the design itself didn't change in 2001. Unlike some other years in the series, the 2001 Jefferson nickel maintained the classic design, which has remained consistent since its inception in 1938. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson's portrait faces left, surrounded by the inscriptions, Liberty, and In God We Trust, as well as the date of mintage, 2001. At the bottom, the reverse depicts a simple, yet powerful image of Monticello, Jefferson's plantation home, with the inscriptions Monticello and 5 cents below. Additionally, the motto, E pluribus unum, which translates to out of many one, is found above the Monticello building. In terms of its physical composition, the 2001 Jefferson nickel remained consistent with the formula that had been used since 1866, a mixture of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This metal blend gives the coin its distinctive appearance and durability. The nickel's weight is 5 grams, and it has a diameter of 21.21 millimeters, which is consistent with other coins of the same denomination. The coin was produced at the U.S. Mint's facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with the P Mint mark used for coins struck in Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. Now, let's talk about the historical context surrounding the 2001 Jefferson nickel. This year falls in a time of relative peace and prosperity in the United States. The economy was thriving, with the country experiencing one of its longest periods of economic expansion. The stock market was performing well, and the dot-com boom was in full swing. However, 2001 also marked the end of the 20th century and the beginning of a new era, one that would bring significant changes to the world, particularly with the advent of digital technology and the rise of global interconnectivity. Yet, despite these rapid changes, the U.S. Mint continued to produce coins that harken back to the country's founding and its historical symbols. The Jefferson nickel of 2001 was no different. Even as the country was looking ahead to a new century, this coin still paid homage to the ideals of democracy, liberty, and agrarianism as envisioned by Thomas Jefferson. It was a reminder that, no matter what changes the country faced, the values of the past remained integral to the American identity. But why is the 2001 Jefferson nickel so valuable to collectors today? In truth, the coin itself is relatively common in terms of mintage. Millions of Jefferson nickels were struck that year, and they were widely circulated, meaning they can still be found in pocket change across the country. However, like many other coins, the value of the 2001 Jefferson nickel is heavily influenced by its condition. Coins that have been circulated extensively tend to show signs of wear, such as scratches, discoloration, and flattened details. These coins are generally only worth their face value of 5 cents. However, the real value lies in coins that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition. When a coin is kept in excellent condition, with no signs of wear or damage, it becomes much more valuable to collectors. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is. Coins that have been graded as MS65 or higher, mint state 65, are considered to be in excellent condition and can fetch significant sums. For example, a 2001 Jefferson nickel in perfect condition, graded MS67, might be worth several $100s, while one graded as MS68 or higher could potentially sell for even more. Beyond the coin's condition, there are a few other factors that contribute to its collector appeal. One of the most significant is the historical context of the coin. The year 2001 marked the turn of the century, and collectors often look for coins from this period as they symbolize a unique moment in American history. The 2001 Jefferson nickel is also part of the long-running series that has remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1938. For many collectors, the Jefferson nickel represents a sense of continuity in American coinage, a link between the past and the present. Furthermore, some collectors are specifically interested in coins that were struck in certain years due to their rarity or unique characteristics. While the 2001 Jefferson nickel is not considered particularly rare, there are certain characteristics that make it more valuable to certain collectors. For example, coins with special die varieties, minting errors, or unique characteristics can increase in value, though these instances are rare. Even without these unique attributes, a well-preserved 2001 Jefferson nickel can still command a high price, particularly among collectors who specialize in U.S. coinage from the late 20th and early 21st centuries. As for the specific value of the 2001 Jefferson nickel today, it can vary greatly depending on its condition and any additional factors that might make it more desirable to collectors. A coin in average circulated condition is worth only its face value, but high-grade examples in MS65 or higher can fetch thousands of dollars. However, even coins that are in exceptional condition may not fetch an astronomical price unless they have a unique feature, such as a minting error or an unusual die variety. As a rough estimate, a well-preserved 2001 Jefferson nickel in MS67 or higher can be worth upwards of $32,999, making it a surprisingly valuable coin for collectors who are patient enough to seek out the best examples. Of course, the value can fluctuate depending on the demand within the collector market and the availability of high-grade examples. But one thing is clear, the 2001 Jefferson nickel is a coin worth holding on to. In conclusion, the 2001 Jefferson nickel stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of American coinage. Struck during a time of economic prosperity and technological change, it serves as a link between the past and the future, with its classic design paying homage to Thomas Jefferson and the values he championed. While the coin may have originally been intended for circulation and everyday use, its significance in the world of coin collecting cannot be overstated. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the hobby, the 2001 Jefferson nickel offers a fascinating glimpse into the history of American numismatics. Its design, historical context, and collector appeal make it a coin worth seeking out and preserving for future generations. And with its current value of up to $32,999, it's clear that this simple 5-cent coin is much more than it first appears. So, the next time you come across a 2001 Jefferson nickel, take a moment to appreciate its historical significance and potential value. It just might be worth more than you think.